Patrick Janas, je suis le fondateur et le directeur général du magazine Bien Vu en France. Je vais vous faire une présentation sur les chiffres du marché et je voulais remercier les organisateurs du MIDO pour cette présentation. Alors désolé, je ne parle pas italien, mais Danilo va faire la traduction. Tu veux ça? Vas-y, tu peux refaire la traduction?
Ouais.
Vas-y, faire la traduction de ce que j'ai dit. T'as pas écouté que je me suis présenté
Voilà,
et que j'avais présenté les chiffres du marché.
Oui, d'accord.
Tu y vas?
Oui, buongiorno.
Good afternoon. Patrick Janas is the General Director of magazine dedicated to optics. Today he's going to give us an overview of the French market. On the one hand, so it is a very rich overview with many different figures about consumers, products and market shares. And on the other hand, there are big differences compared to the domestic market, to the Italian market. And well, this is a great input for us because we really have to pay attention to the market, although for the time being we have very few data on it.
Les chiffres de 2015, c'est trop près pour avoir des chiffres sur le marché de 2016.
So here you see the figures referring to 2015. The 2016 figures are not complete yet. However, as I said, you will hear very interesting inputs. So I don't think you need any translation for the numbers. You see the number on top is the turnover, and the number at the bottom of the slide is the number of points of sale.
De la façon suivante, il y a 12 750 magasins et il y a 4 grandes familles de magasins en France. Les magasins indépendants, qui représentent 50% du marché, un magasin sur 2. Il y a les enseignes coopératives qui font 26% en nombre de points de vente, 17% en franchise et 6% en magasins mutualistes qui sont des magasins d'assurance.
Ecco, il taglio del
Here you see the breakdown of the market, and the French market is broken down differently from the Italian one. So we have traditional stores that account for half of the market, the so-called independent stores. The other magazines the other stores are organized in chains like branches, franchisees, and there is another specific sector that does not exist in Italy, and these are the insurance stores, that is, well, stores that provide spectacles and glasses to people who drew up an insurance agreement.
Sì, ma basta. Ok. Private insurance. This is not the site correct to publicize, to make advertising for the insurance. Please, stay. She wants this thing. It's not about public debate. OK.
Alors,
Qui parle d'assikuration, mais ils sont
c'est plus simple à expliquer comme ça, pour les marchés italiens.
it is much easier to explain this way for an Italian audience.
Alors, on a fait un retour en arrière sur les 10 dernières années pour mesurer l'évolution par catégorie de magasins. Et on s'aperçoit en fait que le nombre de points de vente qui a évolué le plus sont les opticiens indépendants. En 10 ans, il y a eu 35% de magasins indépendants en plus. Les magasins coopératifs sont restés relativement stables avec 4,7%. Les franchises ont beaucoup progressé et on verra qu'en termes de chiffre d'affaires, ils ont aussi beaucoup progressé puisque en nombre de points de vente, il y a une évolution de 60%. Et les magasins mutualistes, eux, ont progressé aussi, mais en part de marché, ils restent relativement stables puisqu'on était à 5,7 en 2006, et on est à 6,1 en 2015. Donc relativement stable en termes de nombre de points de vente.
So, of the 4 different types of stores available on the French market, the independent stores have grown a lot. And this is specific for France. In the rest of Europe, in Spain, for example, the number of stores tends to decrease, as it is the case in Italy. In France, instead, independent stores have really grown a lot and have remained an important source of income for the country. The other forms have remained basically unchanged, including the so-called entrance-based stores, which are in yellow on the slide.
Les 6,6 milliards se répartissent de la façon suivante. Donc vous avez en jaune les magasins mutualistes, en violet tout ce qui est franchise et succursales, en bleu les magasins coopératifs et en vert les indépendants. Donc on voit, comme on l'a vu tout à l'heure, 50% en nombre de points de vente pour les indépendants, mais 30% en part de marché. Et vous avez la répartition par enseigne sur ce graphique.
Here you see the breakdown, percentage-wise, of the market. This is also very interesting. On the one hand, you see 50% of the market. So 50% of the stores account for 37% of the global turnover. The other half, instead, account for the difference. So we have a great yield, a great efficacy and penetration of the market by the organized forms of stores, and this is extremely relevant.
Alors les 5 enseignes, le top 5 au niveau des enseignes, ce sont Optique 2000, qui a un système coopératif, Chris, système coopératif, les opticiens mutualistes, Alain Flelou, qui est succursale et franchise, et Général d'Optique, qui est succursale et franchise également.
Ecco, queste sono i
Here you see the 5 top players of the market with a very, very high concentration. Optique 2000 is the top player. Well, it is a sort of association. It's not a cooperative, but we could say it's a sort of association, and the same applies to Chris, the leading player in France for association-based stores, and les opticiens mutualistes and Général d'Optique, well, they are branches complemented with franchisees. Alain Flelou et Général d'Optique, so they both have franchisees and branches.
Par groupe, puisque certains groupes ont plusieurs enseignes. Optique 2000 reste en tête, mais talonné de près par le groupe Chris. Optique 2000 a 2 enseignes qui sont Optique 2000 et Lissac. Chris Lynx Optique et Vision Plus. Le groupe Grand Vision avec Grand Optical Général d'Optique, les opticiens mutualistes et le groupe Alain Flelou qui est Alain Flelou Optical Discount. Donc en fait, ils ont des positionnements qui sont mixtes. Par exemple, Optique 2000, c'est un positionnement généraliste plus un positionnement technique pour l'ISAC. Et pour le groupe Grand Vision et pour le groupe Alain Flelou, on a un positionnement premium. Donc Alain Flelou pour Alain Flelou, Grand Optical pour Grand Vision et un positionnement prix pour Général d'Optique et Optical Discount. Donc ils se positionnent sur des segments qui sont complètement différents et qui leur permet d'avoir plus de parts de marché.
See,
Well, this is another interesting aspect that differs the French market from the Italian one. So we saw the market share of the stores earlier, but so those stores belong sometimes to groups having different brands, and this allows for different positioning. There are groups with a premium positioning with one main brand and a low price and an entry price brand. And this is something which has become usual on the French market. So there is usually a combination of two different brands with two different price brackets. So Optique 2000 remains the top player within the framework of this structure, and then Chris, and then we have the Grand Vision group, and the same group as Général d'Optique. Then we have the insurance-based stores, and Alain Flelou. This is by tradition a group that has both franchisees and direct stores.
De points de vente, vous avez en couleur bleue les magasins coopératifs, en mauve les magasins franchises et succursales. Donc on voit qu'il y a une présence très importante des magasins coopératifs, c'est-à-dire qu'il y a un très bon maillage sur le terrain, avec sur les 12 700 points de vente, 2500, 3000 magasins coopératifs. Optique 2000 a le plus grand nombre de points de vente. Chris, enfin je vous laisse découvrir, et la diapositive suivante sera sur les parts de marché et les chiffres d'affaires moyens par magasin.
Well, this chart is easy to see. So here you see the numbers related to the different brands, and you see the number of points of sale for each specific company based on the types that we discussed earlier.
Ce sont les magasins succursalistes et franchises qui réalisent dans les 3 premières places les magasins, les chiffres d'affaires par point de vente. Donc on a pour le groupe Grand Optical 1,3 million de chiffre d'affaires, Optical Center 1 million par chiffre d'affaires moyen par magasin, Général d'Optique 976, donc près de 1 million. Donc le groupe Grand Vision avec ses deux enseignes, Grand Optical et Général d'Optique, occupe le devant du terrain en termes de chiffre d'affaires moyen.
see,
Well, this would be surprising for me if I didn't know them, but this is a very important difference compared to the Italian market. So 1.3 million euro turnover, for example, this is the turnover that is replicated throughout many different stores. And this is the reason why the independent stores have the lion's share. So independent stores and chains are of paramount importance for the French market with all the relevant consequences.
Ce sont les magasins indépendants. Donc, je vous rappelle, un magasin sur deux en France est un magasin indépendant pour 30% de parts de marché. Par contre, on voit que c'est le chiffre d'affaires le plus faible, puisque c'est 305 000 euros pour un chiffre d'affaires moyen d'un opticien indépendant.
Il dato è stato
We hinted at these figures earlier. The traditional stores account for slightly more than 1/3 of the market, and with 50% of the stores, however, with moderate turnovers.
Généralement aussi, on a tendance à dire que l'optique est chère en France et pour montrer qu'en fait le prix de la lunette est pas aussi cher et a moins augmenté dans les dernières années. Depuis 2006, on a fait une comparaison entre le prix moyen d'une paire de lunettes et l'augmentation d'une paire de lunettes entre 2005 et 2015, soit sur 10 ans. Et on voit que le prix de l'optique a une augmentation de 5,5%, alors que l'indice des prix à la consommation a augmenté, lui, de 13,8%. Donc le prix des lunettes a augmenté beaucoup moins que le prix de la vie, le coût de la vie. Et le coût des assurances, donc c'est la courbe qui est en rouge, le prix des assurances complémentaires santé a augmenté de près de 30%.
Voilà.
This is a very interesting chart. At the moment, there is a very strong debate in France on the price of glasses and spectacles that are funded by the state. So, well, this was not mentioned by the speaker, but I can anticipate this to you. The French, the national health system refunds the price of glasses and spectacles depending on a series of factors that differ according to the company. This is a very interesting chart. So the price of the insurance for those who pay for it and get the glasses refunded increased by 28.8%. So the cost of living increased in the same period by 13.8% only, and 5.5% has been the increase in the low-priced segment. So in this period, when buying a pair of glasses, you could save a lot of money.
Des taux de remboursement par les assurances complémentaires santé, des assurances qui vont de 200 € à 950 €.
Ecco, questo
The average price of spectacles in France is 400 euros. Well, as far as I know about Italian prices, although there are no official prices in Italy, well, the mean price for spectacles in Italy is lower than 300 euros. In France, instead, we said the mean price is 400 euro, and at least 2/3 of this price is refunded by the insurance. Although, as I said, the reimbursement system is not everywhere the same in France.
De l'optique, puisqu'on est ici pour rebondir au niveau un peu mondial, avec un marché qui va fortement se développer, puisque d'ici 2050, le nombre de myopes va être multiplié par 2. Et je reprendrai après quelques explications complémentaires.
Sì, merci.
The spectacles market in France, and with some differences throughout Europe, has been experiencing major changes. As you also know, if you are familiar with the optical world, there is an increase in the amount of emmetrope patients out of the total number of people. In France, 2 out of 3 people wear spectacles. Well, the statistics I have are a bit weaker, a bit lower. However, this is more or less the trend. by 2050, as you can see, the market is going to double. Well, and France should also stick to this piece of statistic, considering the current pace.
On connaît tous aussi un certain nombre de difficultés. Néanmoins, on a la chance d'être sur un marché qui est porteur, puisque les myopes vont représenter 4,8 milliards en 2050. Aujourd'hui, on a 50% des ados qui sont myopes en Europe.
Arrête, parce que ça... Donc, les données sont... Les chiffres sont... Combien d'ados qui sont...
Alors, 50% des ados sont myopes en Europe.
50%.
50% of teenagers are short-sighted in Europe.
Pourquoi Essilor et Luxottica fusionnent, puisqu'il y a de belles perspectives dans le monde.
E questa è la ragione.
And this is, of course, one of the reasons why Essilor and Luxottica merged, because this market is expected to grow exponentially, and so the leading players will have the lion's share of this market. So in the optical world, Essilor represents the short-term outlook of the optical market.
L'espérance de vie mondiale est passée de 45 ans à 76 ans. Donc on récupère en effet de 45 ans à 76 ans tous les presbytes aussi.
Sì, nel frattempo la speranza...
At the same time, life expectancy has increased from 46 to 72 years of age. So the number of people who are going to become emmetrope, so who need spectacles, will increase exponentially too. Well, I allow myself to add a couple of remarks. When you look at this figure, you get really astonished, because on the one hand, you hear that the population has not been increasing significantly, and on the other hand, we hear that we also live longer. So elderly people who need a correction will account for more than 60-70% of the whole population. In 1930, in Italy and in Germany, 50% of the people in 2030, so in 2030, the Italian and German population will become much older.
De presbytes est en train de passer de 1,9 milliard à 2,1 milliards, ce qui fait 20% d'augmentation en 5 ans.
E per i presbiti?
And so 600 million far-sighted people more. Then we have other figures, 2.3 million long-sighted people more, equal to 460,000 per year and equal to 36 people per store. So each store from now on will have 3 long-sighted patients more per month visiting that store.
Et sur une période d'un peu moins de 10 ans, on est passé de 5247 ophtalmologistes à 4900. Donc là, on va avoir une population qui va avoir plus besoin de contrôle visuel, et on a moins d'ophtalmologistes, de médecins, et donc beaucoup plus d'attentes pour avoir un rendez-vous.
ajoute, lui, qu'il n'y a pas d'optométrie en France et en Italie aussi. Et in più non...
And by the way, we have no optometricians to fill in the gap between eye physicians and opticians. Well, this figure would deserve a separate meeting. Here you see the decrease in the number of eye physicians, and in Italy we have a similar trend, and this is a basic problem of the public health system. So all national health systems are focusing on decreasing the number of specialists. So the states have no longer the money to pay for those specialists. So paradoxically, the number of specialists is decreasing and the number of generalists is increasing. In France, we can see a similar trend. And I can tell you that in Italy we have a similar trend. So we don't have enough doctors. However, we have a limited number of physicians allowed to become doctors. And as we are all involved in the university system, we are all surprised because nothing is done to improve the level of students living universities and schools. Thank you very much for your attention, and I thank the translator for translating my comments into Italian and English.
Oui, oui. Et tu parles en anglais? Grazie, grazie. Tu gentile.
Tu veux?
Bonjour. So I will speak in English. It's okay? All right. So my name is Stéphane Lebratti, and I'm the president of the ISO group of school in France. So ISO is a group of school focused on training opticians. The translation is... on a la It's okay? All right. So we focus exclusively on training opticians for the state diploma, and we also train them with specializations. So ISO was created in 1988 by my family, and today we have 9 schools in France, 500 teachers, 3,000 students in the schools. We have 15,000 former students. We train them in 5 curriculums. We do professional training, e-learning. We also have 2 international training centers, one in China and one in the United States. ISO is also accredited for European student exchange. It's a program called Erasmus. So very quickly, I will speak about the skills of the French optician. I guess it's very similar in Italy. So basically, it's a 2-year program with 2,000 hours per year. You have the skills here. So lens technology, facial measurements, sales, frame fitting. I mean, this is the regular optician degree. And so it's divided into topics. that are listed here for the optician degree. So it's a 2000 curriculum, 2000 hour curriculum. Sure. So we did a marketing research on our students a couple of years ago, and we realized that most of our students, they feel like they are in healthcare. And we created for them a curriculum in optometry because 60% of those students, they have a passion for healthcare and helping others. We have 30% of our students, they are more passionate about the business side of the trade, and we created for them a curriculum of 1 year with a specialization on management in optics. More and more shops have big size, and those big retailers, they need management, they need students with a double competence. And 10% of our students have this passion for the frame and design. And so we have created for them a curriculum which is specialized in design, fashion, and luxury. And those students, they find jobs in the high-end retailers. So those are the three specializations with the topics. So it's 1 year. All the specializations are 1 year programs with 500 hours, and they have an internship. So it's 2 days at the school and 3 days in the shop. The specializations are more and more popular. We have around 70% of our students who continue after their 2-year degree. We also train at ISO. We train top executive in emerging countries. So, for example, this is a group of Chinese retailers who come 1 week in Paris, and the teachers that we put in those curriculums are the president of the French retail chains, and every president speaks about a topic that has a conference on a topic that is his focus. For example, Aflelu came to speak about the franchising business. So this is our philosophy. Like a trained optician is not here to sell. Sorry. Okay. So basically, our philosophy is like a trained optician is here not to sell a product, but to find a solution to the client's problem, thanks to his expertise. We've been very much involved in China. That's why the presentation is actually a part in Chinese. We are working with the Chinese retailers and the Chinese government to create a diploma for opticians in China. At the moment in China, they have the ophthalmologist, they have the optometrist, they do not have the optician. So anybody can work as an optician. We started training Chinese students in September. So we have a group of 40 Chinese students. It's a curriculum of 500 hours. And as Patrick was saying, in Asia, the number of there is a myopia epidemic, so there is a strong need for optician training. Thank you very much for your attention. Can you take a picture?